I can put this on something. Hey, So it's Rosh Chodesh Iyar. Does anyone know where the minig of Farbrengen Rosh Chodesh started? Or do you know that it even started? Okay. So you're saying it started with the Frierdiker Rebbe?
I don't know. The Rebbe just says that that's the minhag.
So it started with the Alter Rebbe. And over the 200 plus years of Chabad Lubavitch, of our Chassidus, Chassidim Farbrengen Rosh Chodesh, it became formalized during the Rebbe Rashab's time in Tomchei Tmimim. And here I want to, for a moment, go into explain what that means. Lubavitch Yeshiva Tomchei Tmimim Lubavitch, which today includes other yeshivas too, was the trailblazer for forming Chabad Minhagim. Although during the Rebbe Rashab's time itself in the yeshiva, they didn't think that way and they didn't look at things that way because the overall Jewish world wasn't into Minhagim. Minhagim really started post-Holocaust, both in Eretz Yisrael and in America. Not only with Lubavitch, but with other groups as well. And Minhagim, as you know from the Rebbe's famous Sikha regarding the Eimat Bilin question before Chometz, which is our minig, I think, according to the Rif, even though the Rambam, I think the Rambam writes otherwise. Anyway, there's Klal Yisrael says Chometz first and then Matbilin.
What's Matbilin?
Matbilin is the four questions according to the Bavitch. The Fir Kashas, the Manishtana, is the why do we dip twice tonight, right? So everyone else says that later, and we say it first. So the Rebbe explains, this is one explanation, the Rebbe explains that it's because it's a minig. It's a minig, and to show the children that minhagim are very important. Now, this is a very important, especially those that have families and children and grandchildren. The Jewish nation, Am Yisrael, as much as it's built on Torah, right? Halacha and Torah, it's more built on minhagim. And if you strip minhagim from the Jewish nation, you're left with what we call a robotic Judaism, a robotic Torah, where you do things that's very mechanical. And with that, I will segue to another interesting thing that I had this week, just recently, without names because of the sensitivity of the matter, and that I received a phone call from a very successful shliach who is, a little younger than I, and successful. And he starts off by saying, we know each other, in conversation. He starts off by saying whatever he does is robotic. Robotic. And he feels inside terrible. Because he has a congregation, he has a Chabad house, and he knows the talk, and he knows the game, and he knows the answers, and he's learned. It's all true. But, robotic, mechanical. I don't know how you say that in Hebrew.
Robotic.
Robotic.
Robot.
And I've been thinking about this. She's asking me if I have any thoughts about it. So, the minhagim Yisrael is a way to overcome this roboticism, this mechanicism where everything is tackled, tit for tat. Stand up now, sit down, bend up. Now, if you say it and you don't explain it, then you can really walk away with the wrong message. So it's not important to stand, sit, move. It's all wrong. Everything is important. But the question is, where's it coming from? Is it coming from the pneumius? It's coming from inside, that you're excited about it, and you have another opportunity to connect? Or is it coming from I was trained this way in yeshiva. I was told by my parents. The community, what are they going to say? You know what I'm saying? What are they going to say if I don't come in with a hat and a jacket and a coat and this and that? But what you say? What I'm saying is, you have a situation that you could either make of it the holiest of the holy, or you can say it is ridiculous. And I think that at times, if not many times, that's what we do in our own lives. We either play it up very holy, or we play it down. It's all narishkeit. I come from Brooklyn, and I live in Borough Park. I don't live in Crown Heights. I encounter other Hasidim. Now, the hub of the Satmar Hasidim is in Williamsburg, not Borough Park. Borough Park, the main Hasidim are Borough Hasidim, although over the years Satmar has many shuls and all that. One of the outstanding features, and I say that with quotations around the word outstanding, is that they're known for their cynicism. Very cynical.
Who? Or Chagat, for citizen general?
No, I'm specifying Satmar Hasidim. General, I would say that's true for many Hasidim, but they have a knack, and without now studying them, because we could study them, we have studied them, but that's not relevant now. But what I want to bring out, I'm not looking to point my finger at them. I'm looking to point my finger at myself. Where does cynicism come from? Where does cynicism, and what is the point of cynicism? And when we make light of, you really think that by doing this minig and that minig and this thing, big deal. That's being cynical. At the same time, if you don't do some things and you feel miserable, and it causes you to be upset, and ultimately to not leave completely, but for where you were to take what they call a chill out, to in the Litvish called a rifyon. They have a rifyon.
Oh, yeah.
These right. So the question is, how do you deal with this? And this is very, very. I don't know. I'm older than many of you, or all of you, and when this shliach brought this to my attention, it made my head spin, because this isn't someone who wasn't, in this community. There's someone who grew up in a Chabad family. I know his family. It's a solid family. What is happening that someone can feel this way today? And I think that the answer, one of the possibilities to avoid this more and more, especially today, is to emphasize the minhagim and the beauty of minhagim, and to understand that without minhagim, it's a very dry type of Yiddishkeit, Chassidischkeit. L'chaim, the Rebbe should help us that we should first acknowledge to ourselves what is going on inside, who we are, and from there we can grow outside. L'chaim.
Beautiful one.
Yosef Zaglachayim. Rabbi Yosef Pack. In Lubavitch, there was a mashpia. His name was the Michol der Alter. That's the way they called him. Michol Berliner was his real name, but they called him der Alter because he came still from the Tzemach Tzedek's time, and he lived into the Rashab's time. And there are certain stories that the Chassidim repeat from him that are like, they're not really stories, they're just insights from his behavior. Listen to this one. So, they once brought him a cup of tea. So he asked, where is this water from? So they said, it's from the Samavar on the table. In Russia, they had a Samavar. You don't have here, but one of the Hasidic artists' paintings, more than one that was painted by Zalman Kleiman, over Sholem. You have the famous painting called the Samach where two Hasidim are learning the Sefer of the Rebbe Rashab, Samach And you have a big table, and you have two Hasidim, and in the front of the picture, on the picture, you see a cat and a hen. And the reason for that is because the artist was called Handel Futterfass, Mendel Futter's brother, but he was Handel Lieberman. And his best friend was Getzel Rubashkin, Moshe Rubashkin's grandfather, who was known as Getzel. The Yiddish word for a cat is a katz, Ketzel. So he put on each picture his best buddy himself. He's Handel, hen, a rooster, and he also put a cat. You'll take a look next time, you'll see that. But anyway, so he has a picture of the Samach, two Chassidim learning, and on that picture you'll see a big fuss. It looks like a big barrel, but what it is called a Samavar. It's cast iron. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
It's an urn. It's a hot water.
But it was cast iron. It was as heavy, very heavy. A Samavar, right?
He probably has a Samavar at home right now. Yeah.
Wait! Listen to this. So when they told this mashpia, we hasted Michol. They said, Michol, we got you a cup of hot water from this Samavar. He says, I'm not drinking it. They asked him, you're not drinking what? You don't think it's kosher? You don't think it's kosher? What it is? What's the water? And tea cents. So listen to what Michol said. You see the cleverness of a Yid. He said, I don't drink from something that doesn't bend. A chainik, it's on a fire, you take it off, and you pour like this. It bends over. A Samavar is so heavy, the cast iron, you can't bend it over, so you have to put your cup under it. It stands firm in its position, and that's how you get your water. Okay. He says, I don't drink from anything that doesn't have Bitul. A chinik has bittul. It bends itself over. I'll drink from that. But if something doesn't have bittul and it doesn't bend itself over, it's a yesh, it's a metzias, it's an ego, v'chuli, then from that I'm not going to drink. I think this is, I love this anecdote. In life, bittul, compromise is where it's at. You can be right, and you can know all the arguments. You have to have bittul. You have to give in. What's the number one? What's the number one advice that we give a chassan and a kala when they get married to lead their life? Give in to each other. Compromise with each other.
Leave while it's too early.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Leave while it's too late.
Yeah.
But shout out Ezra. You stubborn
You know?
fire.
You want to have a successful marriage? Bitul. Sometimes you're right, sometimes she's right, and the same is true in every aspect of life. So Hashem should help us. Rosh Chodesh Iyar, after Pesach and before Shavuos, the Sfiras HaEmer, to why we're going through these steps, these 49 steps to have Bitul. More bittul and bittul in this way, and that's what either makes relationships or breaks relationships. People who are successful mediators, intermediaries, they're able to do bittul.
I am. I'm just.
Because at the end of the day, as smart as you are, people see through you. You don't have bittul at the end of the day. It's garnished. It's a garnish. It's nothing. Not in our system of Chabad. And you're all Chabadniks. You're not Satmar, you're not Bavaver, you're not Misnagdim, you're not Litvak, you're not Svardim. Well, you're Svardim maybe, but some of you. But Bitul. And it's very hard to have Bitul because I know, I was educated, I'm studied in this field, V'chulu. Right? And that's why Taka the philosophies. What's the Greek? Not just Greek philosophy. The whole idea of philosophy is miyusad an yesh. See, this is not philosophy. Anyone thinks this? We call it something as Chassidic philosophy. But it's not. Philosophy is fardorben. You know what fardorben means? Fardorben means it's messed up. Because it's miyusad Plato, Aristotle, V'chuli, all those philosophies. It's miyusad an yesh. Yesh. I. With all of the genius. Look at this. Aristotle, it's a famous word Chassidim say. This you must have heard. Aristotle was once caught in an uncompromised position. We'll leave it at that. So they came to Aristotle and they said, Mr. Aristotle, you've the Meseichel by you, logic is everything. Wie kommt es? How is it that you did this? It's not nice. It doesn't make sense. So he said, our Mashpir Melech in Maristan would repeat this many times. So he said, B'shas I did this act, I wasn't Aristotle. I'm not, at that moment, I'm not Aristotle. Is that an answer? But that's what that's as a zokman that I there, wasn't there. But that's the word that Chassidim would repeat.
Why? A Rosh came into me.
Yeah, okay. But the pshat is, when you claim to be an Aristotle in every aspect of your life, and your whole approach is based on that, then it's an oxymoron. Then it's a stira minei bay. Then it's a contradiction. When you know you're a weak man, when you know you have indulgences, but be it this or that, veredum. Oh,
yourself.
Yeah. Anyway, don't worry. It doesn't go to myself. It goes to thousands of people. But that's not relevant now. But so.
Sam's not a big fan.
So the nekuda is Reb Michol's vort. I don't drink from a Samavar. I drink only from a chaynik. You can't be makabel from a yesh. You can be makabel from a person who has bittul. And that's the answer. People say, a mashpia, this mashpia, that mashpia, who mashpia, what mashpia, how's your mashpia? Does he have bittul or not? Tell you another story. You like stories? So, when I came to Borough Park over 30 years ago, Michal der Alter. So I wanted to learn. I got into learning about reincarnation. Gilguli HaNeshamas. Now, there's a whole Sefer Gilgulim, and there's another Sefer Shara Gilgulim from the Arizal, Chaim Bitul, named the Arizal. So I was looking for a teacher, because I learned Yeshiva Chassidus, I didn't learn Kisvi Arizal. And here, this field is covered really well, and it was around 9/11. So I was giving lectures, whatever, and it involved some of these inyonim. And I got really into it, and I was looking for a teacher. So I heard that there's a person is a Baal Makubal, and he's a Kabbalah teacher in Borough Park. One person in Borough Park and one person in Flatbush. I call up the one in Flatbush. I don't say names, but I call him up, and within minutes he's talking down. He's talking down to me. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. But I'm asking him about this topic, and I didn't hang up. I should have, but I didn't, because have a little menschlichkeit, and but total yesh. Then I went to the chassid. He was more of a literature. Then I went to a chassid in Borough Park, and he had Bitul, and I was able to hear from him and learn from him. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, don't worry. Listen. People who want to talk, let them talk. It's all right. I'm talking too. They're talking too. I'm talking, they're talking. It's all right. Trust me. When I go to a formal Farbrengen, this does not happen.
Oh my gosh. Rabbi, that's a beautiful life of Farbrengen.
Who gave you this? You just put it up?
Somebody gave it to me.
This is great for cleaning your pneumius.
Where? For cleaning your pneumius.
Let me see this.
Paltiel.
Okay, we gotta say l'chaim. What happened to the wine? Is the wine over there? What? Finish? A great grand.
He's a Mashkin, basically.
You missed the story for your great grandfather. So in 2001, there was a Dibuk story in Dimona, Eretz Yisrael.
There's a what?
A Dibuk, you know what a Dibuk is? A possessed soul. So Chaim Dalfin decided to track this.
Yeah, they say that Rabbi.
Just wait, hold on, man. I just said 2 words. Already.
Oh, you're gonna tell us the camp story about some Shindalik?
Don't they show that from Quran was known to get rid of
So
I agree.
the question was very controversial at the time.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms is what we call schizophrenia. Classical schizophrenia, people talk to themselves, things like that. If I had to, put it into one word, I would say schizophrenia. Anyway,
Say it in 5 words.
you know what schizophrenia is?
But yeah, but schizophrenia is it's normal.
What do you mean it's normal?
The people that talk to themselves. Who don't talk to themselves?
Joe talks to himself.
No, schizophrenia is not normal.
Always.
Your very voice
That's
is,
okay.
your voice is
No problem talking to yourself. The problem is when you hear them answer.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was very controversial. Some people said it was all made up by some, and others said no, and they sparred him in the Kettle and Dimona, Gansamaisa. So here the question is, and again, I was studying these type of things in Kisvi Arizal, because it's mentioned in the Kisvi Arizal, the concept of a dibuk, a possessed soul, it is mentioned. And in Sifri Kabbalah, it's mentioned. So that means that our Torah, Kabbalah's part of Torah, says it's true. Al Kopanim, so the question is, how do we verify that? So I flew down to Eretz Yisrael, and somehow, I don't remember now how, I heard that the person was a woman, because there was a video of it, and there's a tape, which I had, and I saw the exorcism being done in Yerushalayim by David Batsri, not far, in Yerushalayim over there in Makar Baruch section. Anyway, I called and I said I would like to come. She says, come. Then I'm in the taxi and I get a call, don't come. I don't want any. I said, you told me to come. I'm in the taxi. Okay, come. So I end up there, and she had moved. Not this happened in Dimona, but she had moved because of all of the PR and everything was driving her nuts. She moved to Beersheba. So I was there. I come in. It's a mother and a daughter. It was the woman who was possessed with a dibuk, and her daughter. So what? No, just the mother, but the daughter was sitting there, and she was a 17, 18-year-old girl, intelligent girl. And what I did was I had to. How am I going to verify if it's emes or not, or kaponim to see? I was going to then report it to a few rabbanim, kubalim, and discuss it. This is my field research that I did, and so I played one off the other. That's what I did. I played the daughter of the mother and the mother of the daughter, and the kids are. It seemed to me that it's emes. It's true that she had some kind of sound coming from her. It was a male's voice. It sounded very, you can hear it on the tape, very male, coming from a female. And remember, this is really before the times of the, the movements that we have today. AI, so,
I hear Joe sometimes.
all kinds of movements where people change their voices and change their body parts and all that, etc. I don't want to go into that now. Anyway, so the kids listen to this. So I take back the information and I go to the David Boxley. I want to bring this out, the Bitul. That's my trajectory here is of the Bitul, the Nekuda from Reb Chodesh to the Bitul. So when I go into him, I was there half hour, 45 minutes. And from the beginning till the end, I asked him, Reb David, how do you know for sure she had a dibuk? So before he answered me. Let me tell you, the situation was like the Svardische shuls in the Stiblach over there in Yerushalayim. You have a couch here, you have a stender, and you have carpet. I don't know if you've been to it, but you can go in Yerushalayim and still today. And there was like 100 people in the room. And later I found out that he had people who were against him in the room, trying to make fun of him, and that they were going to report that it's ridiculous. And what he did was he started with the formal, what it says in the Kisvei Arizal, what you're supposed to do, and he starts talking to the Dibuk. And he says, what?
From a different location? Or?
No, he's standing here. Oh, the woman's on the couch.
You were there?
No, I saw a video of that there. I'm talking to the woman after the fact. What?
Yeah, he's talking to the woman who's
Already she was now exercise. The exorcism took place. So what happened was she's sitting on the couch. He's talking to her, and he says he's talking to him. You're. Who are you? Who are you? Ani abal.
What's the matter?
I'm the man. I'm the husband. I'm her husband. 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 Okay. Matal said, what are you doing? Ani shote alcohol. He drinks alcohol. He was an alcoholic. Wow. Yeah. Why are you here? Why are you possessing this woman? Reb David asks her, and Asinu Aveira. We did an Aveira, and you can imagine what the Aveira is. Okay, whatever. Men and women's issues, not relevant what the details are. What you have to know this detail, that. That's a general.
They want the juicy details.
You want graphic description? You'll come privately in my office. I'll give you graphic description. And you need graphic description. You're not getting it from me anyway.
Who's holding you back?
They're just, I'm just saying, on our walks on Shabbos, I'll tell you, that's just hard for wheeling me. Anyway, so then Reb David says to her, Tazov, let go. Lo. Now, what did the Dibuk say? Because it says in the Kisvei Arizal, a Dibuk is a soul that doesn't have a place to rest. And the worst thing is homelessness. Nissim Mengel, Rabbi Nissim Mengel, the survivor, is with us still. He always said that in 1945, after the war, he was by Mengele, and Mengele let him go. He saw Mengele, he mocked him with his own eyes. Anyway, Mengele was the child. He says that when he came home and he knocked on his door, and he was dressed with an SS because they didn't have the clothing. He put on whatever he had. His aunt slammed the door and was scared. She didn't really know the war ended, and it took him a while to convince her that I'm your nephew. I'm your nephew. So he brings out the point, which I heard it from him, that homelessness is like It's the worst thing. Even being in a place of schmutz and dirt and blah, 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 you have a place. You have a place. Not a nice place, not a good place. Hostaplatz, you have a place. But you don't have a place at all. So a dibuk is a neshama that doesn't have a place. It's hovering. Famous story with the Rebbe with the Miriam Bas Bilga. The Rebbe said in the Farbrengen, Yvav Tishrei Tavshel Lamed Hey, the Rebbe said that Miriam Bas Bilga was a soul, a dibuk soul, hovering for 2,000 years. I remember that famous sikha, so he printed it. But the kids, so he said, the dibuk told Reb David Basri that Matzati, I found menucha. Where did he find menucha? In his wife. Nichnas leisha. He went inside her. And he doesn't want to go out. He has a place. He has a home. So David says, you have to go out. You can't, and he's speaking like a you hear a male's voice coming out of a female. Anyway, so Reb David does the ritual and then gets up and starts blowing the shofar and says, out and out and out. And as he's blowing the shofar, as he's blowing the shofar, you see
the story.
You know the story?
No, I said we're adding good to the story.
Okay, I'm not. As he's blowing the shofar, you see her on the couch start shaking and trembling like she has the chills. Mamish moving, and everyone's getting scared in the room. They're going away. She was stua. She was dressed sneezdik, but she's going crazy on the couch, like she's having a convulsion. You know what a convulsion is? And all of a sudden, she jumps off the couch, falls off the couch onto the floor, and she's laying like lifeless. And if David says, the dibuk left her. And it says in the Kisvei Arizal, it goes out through your little toe. Yeah, and when it goes out, it makes a shriek because it's tight. So it has to go through the little. That's what it says.
Why decided to leave? Convinced him.
He spoke to him, convinced him, but then he blew the shofar and they said tefillot, and it went out.
Where did it go?
I don't know where it went.
Back to the.
Maybe it probably had a tikkun. This was its tikkun. So I asked him after hearing this story, Reb David, how do you know that this really happened? He says, Siyata d'Shmaya. He repeated over. No, I can't prove it to you. How can I prove it to you? But I felt that he had bitul. I felt he had humility. He was humble. But I didn't stop there. So then I went to Rabbi Yaakov Meir Shechter in Yerushalayim, who was like a manik for the Breslov Hasidim. A manik, a leader, one of the leaders for the Breslov Hasidim. And I asked Rabbi Yaakov Meir, and that's also interesting how he came to his apartment. Anyway, not for now. So it was Meir Sharim. I walked into his house, Shabbos afternoon, everyone was sleeping, and I knew this is a good time to get in because no one can stop me. Everyone's taking up the Shabbos love. I walked up the steps, second floor, knocked on the door. His daughter opens the and she says, Abba, Tata, Ata, give me that ticket. She has a few daughters that want well. And then I come in and I say, Rabbi Yaakov Meir, Rabbi Shechter, was sagt ihr wegen the dibuk? What do you say about the dibuk? He says, there was a dibuk, but he called it a dibuk kal, not a dibuk chamor, whatever the difference is, a strong dibuk, a weak dibuk. And then I spoke to one other of. So my point is, with Bitul, you can accomplish great things. By the way the Rebbe took out the dibuk in Tavshin Lamed Hey didn't involve shofar blowing, didn't involve all these ceremonies. What did the Rebbe do? This is the lesson for us.
What year is this?
What year is what?
The Rebbe took out the
1975.
our Rebbe.
Our Rebbe. What the Rebbe did is he was malamed schus. He spoke positively about Miriam Bas Bilga, and he changed the pshat in the Gemara from negative to positive. And then the Rebbe says the story with the Alter Rebbe, with the person who came to him and he was complaining, and the story with Zechariah, that Zechariah killed. They wanted the two Yidden got up and killed Zechariah because he was going to say a prophecy against the Jews, and a prophet says a prophecy against the Jews, it has to be Mekuyim, and they didn't want him to say a negative prophecy against the Jews, so they got up and killed him. So the Alter Rebbe said, and you have the soul of one of those people who killed Zechariah Novi. The Alter Rebbe said that. And the Rebbe said this story to explain Miriam Bas Bilga. What happened? We put two and two together. That night, the Rebbe, made him of his mother's 10th yard site, made a seam on Masechta Sukkah, and told over the story, the Gemara in there, but changed the pshat. And the Rebbe said they're writing me letters from all over. How can I change the pshat 180 degrees? And then the Rebbe said, "This mice with the Alter Rebbe," and he explained the Gemara. In other words, yeah, I did change the pshat.
That was in a letter for Farbrengen?
That was in the letter for Farbrengen 2 weeks later.
With the Alter Rebbe story?
Yes, Simchas Torah. 2 weeks later, right? The Rebbe made the Siyum, didn't say, and then 2 weeks later said Simchas Torah Tavshin Lamed Hey, which is technically 1974. So he said that that they're nudging me, I'm hacking me, and the Rebbe made a joke out of it. They're wasting money on stamps. They're sending me kartlich and postkartlich, letters, nudging. And the Rebbe. So what do we understand? How did the Rebbe take out the dibuk? He took it out. He took it out by speaking positive. Now, one more thing. The Chofetz Chaim took out a dibuk in the 1920s or 30s, together with Elchanan Wasserman, Maisa Shahoya. I heard this from Blau. The old man Blau is not here any longer, and he was a Talmud in Baranovich by Elchanan. The Elchanan told over the story. The Chofetz Chaim called him and some others, and they sat together and they said Tehillim. So we have and they removed the dibuk. That's the story. So the Chofetz Chaim takes it out through regular saying Tehillim. The Rebbe takes it out through being Melamed Schus on a Yid, speaking positively on a Yid, and Reb David Batzir takes it out in the classical Kabbalistic way through doing the exorcism, through the prayers and that whole ceremony. What?
He was a descendant of the Ben Ish Chai.
Yes, he was.
And what about David Shocha?
I don't know. I didn't have any experience with Shachar. If he took out the bookim, anyway, Chaim. It's not about. We can think. Do we have? Yet the Reina can hide it, and everyone can say. This Meshuggah, he has a dibuk in him. It's not a game. It's not a game. Even though David Batzi does do Yom Maskarot, and it's big posters in Yerushalayim that for all people who are chayil nefesh, people who have mental illness, should come to Yom HaTvilah.
Are there any stories of like a debug?
In the concentration camps, what I found, there is what we call past life regression therapy. Past life regression, where people believe they were in the Holocaust. But as far as dibuks, I don't know. But I do know about even Stevenson's book and other books talk about that. What? About this idea of people who believe they were in the Holocaust. They were murdered or Spanish Inquisition, past life regression. That's a different field. It's a different field. No, it's a different field. Listen, all of these things, if you take it the right way, it could be unbelievable. If you take it the wrong way, it's mishigas. And it's a very... It's a different thing. That's a different thing. Time. Man, the shade, man, the shindal is not a dibuk, it's a ruach ra. A shindal is a ruach ra, the evil spirit. It's not, it comes to interfere.
The other one is lost.
What?
The other one is lost.
The other, the lost soul, that's looking for peace. And in other words, from this perspective, it's not there to hurt, it just wants a place to stay. But it happens to collide with the normal person who has its own personality. So it's one personality with another personality. That's going to be. What's that?
It always jumps into another person.
A dibuk, you mean you could go to an animal? What? Yeah, in the Maimonides, the Siddur speaks about Fargil Gulim, and it speaks about also in animals, but people can what? No. Gilgul means the reincarnation. Dibuk is the soul. It's medubak. It cleans out. Yeah. Well, I tell you, it comes out with his toe. And where's he go? I think, I have to look at it, but it couldn't be that that's
They made a board of things like that.
it's embarrassing. This is a neshama that's already passed away.